I was just in that position where we had, and this is, I tell people this all the time. We had a Honda Civic that we couldn't afford, and I love prosecuting, but it didn't pay well at the time. The highest salary I had was $57,000 in the prosecution world, and that might be a lot. I'm not trying to suggest it is or is not a lot, but there was a light in a Honda Civic, that check engine light, that we just didn't have the money to take care of, and so maybe it was just I don't know. Maybe it's just arrogance or stupidity, a combination of everything. And we didn't have children, and I just told my wife I want to start my own firm, and she was supportive. And here we are, 20 years later. So that is real quick in a nutshell how that whole thing started.
Wow, inspiration by a broken light. That's amazing.
That's pretty much what it was. It was it was pretty much that simple. And I was like, we're just not. I love prosecuting, and I love my mentors that I met along the way. And it was just a situation where I just thought I think I can do this differently, and maybe I'll go back to prosecution when it's all said and done, because I loved it so much, and the people I met along the way are priceless to me. So.
Well, so many great points there, Drew. Like, what's so neat about that is you can get out of school and you have that massive hurdle still to get through called the bar exam before you can ever represent a client. And you got to get through that hurdle. And then you got to get the first job. And then you got to get into court. And you got to, and it's just such a process by which, and I had the same kind of experience where I was sort of thrown into practice right away. And you learn a ton of stuff going through that. Mm-hmm. Which then builds that foundation to say, maybe I can do this on my own. And it's so encouraging, because I think there's a lot of us who, if we don't go back and think about all the stair steps that we've had to climb to go through the process, you can take that for granted very easily.
Oh, certainly. And I know, and, thinking about this podcast and the kind of the subject matter you were looking to discuss, I also know that when we moved to Northern Virginia, Fairfax County is the biggest jurisdiction in Virginia. It has over 1 million people in the county. So it's one of those really robust counties that I'm sure you've almost everybody in the world's heard of Fairfax County if you're from the United States at some point or another. And I remember the first time I walked into the courthouse, it reminded me of a DMV. And I wasn't used to it, where you have the TV screens, and it's almost like the terminal where you see things flipping, and airport, departing planes, arriving planes. And I went home and I told my wife, and I said, I don't know if I can handle this here. This is too big. This is too much. It's just like sensory overload. They have courts on 5 different floors. It was just one of those situations. It was so overwhelming to me. And my wife kind of calmed me down and said, day by day, so, and it really started that slowly. I knew no one in the county. I knew no prosecutor. I knew no defense attorney. And it was just a day by day kind of situation. Every day you kind of learn and build on it and move on to the next day, the next day, the next day. So no mentors, no local knowledge. No, I didn't know. It was just really, it really was a trial by fire ordeal. And I know if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just hard work. It's just getting up every day and rinse, repeat, and just follow the process. And every day you learn a little bit more about what to do, what not to do, forming your, it was really, looking back on it now, it's a special experience, even though at the time it was pretty scary. But like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it.